What's up YouTube? Fully here with Fully Gaming, bringing you another weekly episode. This week's episode I'm actually going to be going over the legendary cards that have been released so far from the new expansion, The Journey to Ungoro. So without further ado, we will show you the first legendary card up on the list is the Hunter legendary. It is the Swamp King Dread, without an A, D, R, E, D. It costs 7 and it's a 9/9 beast. After your opponent plays a minion, attack it. For those of you who did not watch the video from Hearthstone, I would recommend you go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can see the awesome animations that the development team has come up with this time. I really do say that they have improved it greatly, and I think it'll make it, the game more interesting and fun for us. But basically, how he works, as soon as your opponent puts down a creature, it showed in the video like a priest playing Wisp, which is kind of, you know how it is, kind of crazy. But as soon as your opponent plays down a creature, I guess with any ability, Swamp King Dread will attack it. I'm not sure if stealth counts if he can hit it or not, but for all the all the other abilities and everything, it should attack it, except for probably battle cries. I don't think it would attack battle cries like Jiraxis and stuff. There's been some debate about that on Reddit, so who knows. But it's a pretty unique ability and definitely a control card for the Hunter. I'm just gonna scroll through some of these other ones. The next legendary that's already has been revealed is Pyros for the mage class. It costs 2 and it starts off as a 2/2. It's an elemental, which is new class for this expansion, and its death rattle is return this to your hand as a 6/6, and that costs 6 mana. So it is definitely a phoenix, and as the phoenix gets killed, it will return to your hand and get beef ups basically. So I think that's pretty cool, and this is what it looks like whenever it comes back as a 6/6. And then its death rattle is return this to your hand as a 10/10. That costs 10 mana. So each time it dies, it gets strengthened up from a 2/2 to a 6/6, and then ultimately to a 10/10. I think that's a really cool effect, but you can still get silenced, and that would obviously kill off the death rattle. So there are still some answers to it, of course, but I think that's a pretty cool legendary and pretty cool concept that they have going in. I think that's one thing that is really cool. This expansion is that they're trying to make, come up with different, exciting new concepts to implement into the game. Alright guys, so the next legendary Dino Size was revealed. That's pretty cool. Next legendary that was released is the Sunkeeper Tarim. He costs 6 and he is a 3/7 with taunt. It's a legendary for the Paladin. His battle cry is set all other minions attack and health to 3. So basically to help you control the board, if there's a lot of some other people were talking about, if there's a lot of other Jades out, you can reduce their health down to 3. And it is interesting how Blizzard decided to make this one have 7 health, so they would have to actually trade in at least 3 minions unless they have a weapon or something to get rid of this. The only bad thing, I guess it would be probably too overpowered if it costs 6 and then set it down to 2. That way you can consecrate and wipe the board. I guess I think that would be a little bit too overpowered, so I guess that's why they did it to 3. But I think that would be a good combination, honestly. But yeah, pretty cool card. It costs I mean, add them together, that's 10, 6, so I think the cost is about right. And that, I guess they're going more for, well, I think they're going actually more for, probably, I think they're pushing the Murloc, basically deck again for Paladins, which, based off of the cards that I've seen so far, I mean, I might actually try. I'm not a huge Murloc fan, but, you know, just to try something different might be worth it. I think that's what I'm looking for. To the most is the different decks that we can give a try. So they did something new, and that's called a quest. Each class is going to have its own quest. This is the priest quest, that is Awaken the Makers. The quest is summon 7 Death Rattle minions, and your reward is Amara, Warden of Hope. So the way that quests work, they will always be in your mulligan, and they will always be the left card in your mulligan. You can mulligan your quest if you feel that, you know, it's not going to work out for you for this matchup, or if you want to delay it, or, you know, not use it at all. So you can mulligan it. You don't have to do it, but the rewards for the quests are pretty crazy. Like, what is Amara? Well, Amara costs 5, and she is an 8/8 taunt that her battle cry is set your hero's health to 40. So not is it a you know, Reno, but instead if your health is low, it goes all the way up to 10 more to 40. So that's insane, just insane. Okay guys, all I gotta say, insane. 8/8 taunt, set your hero's health to 40. Jeez and Pete's. And that would be pretty cool to try out the quest and get her up and going. The next legendary is the rogue legendary that they released. It's called Sherizaan, I think, Corpse Flower. It's pretty interesting. It costs 4, and it's a 5/3. Its death rattle is go dormant, and you play 4 cards in a turn to revive this minion. So what's dormant? Well, dormant is basically, it turns into this little seed, and it's got a cool animation where it comes up with little plant things around it, so it shows you the, whenever you play a card, it'll light one up green, basically, and then it'll shoot back out as Sherizaan, basically. So it's got a cool feature where he can come back to life, and also the developer was talking about how rogues typically play a lot of cards in one turn, and this is one way that you can combo it with gadgets and auctioneer, stuff like that, to try to get to some of your finishers, and, you know, and that kind of play. So I think that's pretty interesting concept. The next legendary is actually the quest for the Warlocks. All the quests cost 1, so this particular quest is discard 6 cards, and your reward will be the Nether Portal. So they are obviously pushing the discard deck, which is a variant, you know, kind of in the zoo right now, but it might very well be its own kind of deck. So the Nether Portal costs 5, and it opens a permanent portal that summons 3/2 imps. I'm not sure on exactly how, if you would just, I think from what I understand that you'll get a 3/2 imp a turn, but I'm not sure on the exact number that you would get, but that's pretty cool. I would think that they would count as demons, so your other spells, etc., would be able to be used on them to beef them up and, you know, sacrifice them, gain 5 health, you know, that kind of thing. I think that would be the whole point of putting them in there. And the next legendary is actually the Warlock legendary. So its name is Clutch Mother Zavis, costs 2, and it's a 2/2 beast. Whenever you discard this, give it +2/+2 and return it to your hand. So it's a pretty unique ability, but I think it's definitely got some RNG to it because you have to be lucky enough to discard it, have to be lucky enough to draw it kind of early in order to get some value out of it with the +2/+2. So it's got some, definitely has some randomness to it. So I don't know how well that will particularly help the Warlock out, but it is definitely going with the discard flavor for the quest, as well as, you know, synergies, I guess. Alright, so neutral legendaries. So we have a revamped version of Elise the Trailblazer. It costs 5, of course, and now she's a 5/5. And her battle cry is shuffle a sealed Ungoro pack into your deck. Now, this just isn't any regular Ungoro pack. You do have a high likelihood of getting some legendaries, rare. You can even get golden ones if you don't have the golden Elise. So I think that this is a really cool animation where they put just a whole pack goes into your deck. So the card that you draw is actually this Ungoro pack, and it adds 5 Journey to Ungoro cards to your hand whenever you play it. And the cards that in your hand can be legendary, rare. It's basically like a pack. It opens up into a pack. It gives you cards and everything. So that's a really awesome idea to the battle cry. It'd be cool if you could use Brand, but you can't because Brand's going away. That sucks. So you can't get 2 packs. But that's I like that, the idea behind that. And then the last legendary release so far is Ozarok. He costs 9, which is a lot, quite frankly. He does have Taunt, and he's a 5/5. But his battle cry is gain +5 health for each elemental you played last turn. So he can get up there, especially with, if you saw some of the cards that I went through, there's some 1/2 elementals that cost 1. So his health can definitely get up there, but if you need a like 5/15 taunt on turn 9, that's probably not a good sign, because definitely needs some control going on. So he's more for the control decks. I don't know if he'll be, you know, get played a lot. It just it depends on what other cards are going to be released. Hopefully the next elemental one like this will be a little bit better, because yeah, I don't see where it's that great, honestly. I mean, the only combo I can think of is if you put Inner Fire on it, where you make it like a 20/20 or something like that. But it doesn't even have charge, because I think that would be probably too overpowered to do something like that. But you can create a huge threat on the board doing a combination like that, or you can just have a huge huge wall that someone's got to go through, unless, you know, they happen to have the Black Knight in their deck, which not a lot of people were putting in their decks, but it would definitely be a good counter to it. But yeah, so far that's all the legendaries that have been released. I think I'm looking forward to the expansion. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-order it, but hopefully it'll be an awesome journey to as Blizzard continues to release new cards. I'll try to keep you updated. Might do another card review on some of the other ones that were released, but I'll leave a description. I'll leave a link to this. It's got all the cards that have been released so far for the expansion. Found it on Reddit, and it's a really good post to keep you updated on, guys. Appreciate you watching. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like. If this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe to the channel, so that you can know when more videos are coming out, which come out every week. Thank you guys so much for for watching, and I hope y'all have a great day.